Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I've got a little practice here for you for core strength. So it's really important to have a nice, strong, stable core because it's what everything else works from. So we've got a little sequence of movements that all pretty much focus on strengthening that core. So without further ado, if you want to jump on the mat, make sure you're wearing something comfortable and that you can move in easily. Find a comfortable seated position. So however is best for you, whether that's legs stretched out in front of you or sitting cross-legged, you can even kneel, whatever you prefer. Just making sure you can sit up nice and tall, shoulders down and back. And just taking a moment, we'll tune in. So drawing the awareness into the body, checking in and noticing how you're feeling in this moment. Can't get my words out. With no judgment, no expectation, just awareness. Let that awareness settle onto the breath. Breathing through your nose as best as you can. Trying to gently deepen the inhale. Lengthen the exhale. And think about sending that breath down to your center. Connecting to that strength in the center of your body. When we talk about core strength, it's not just that physical side that's helpful to us. In our yoga practice as well, working on the core is working on your resilience, your strength as you go out and face the world. That doesn't mean building up a wall or strength against people. It's more to do with your strength of being, the strength of being comfortable in who you are, and feeling steady and stable as a person, as a being on this earth. So if you can keep the eyes closed, keeping the eyes closed. With an inhale, we'll just sweep the arms out and up, reaching up towards the ceiling. And with an exhale, we'll twist to the right. So right hand going down behind you, left hand going onto that right knee and looking over the right shoulder. So if you feel like you're leaning back quite a lot, you can always wrap that right arm around the back of the waist instead. So try and sit up nice and tall, using the inhale to lengthen and the exhale to twist. Up, then inhale, coming back to center, reach both arms up towards the ceiling, find length through the body, and then exhale, twisting to the left. So again, either left hand down behind you, or you can wrap that left hand around the back of the waist. Think about turning over that left shoulder, but not forcing the body round. So that's the direction you're heading in. But do it at your own pace, so you can move just a little way. Have that strength in your core to know what's best for you and your body in this moment. Lovely. Then inhale, coming back to center, reach both arms up again, find length through the sides of the body. And then exhale, we'll pop the right hand down to the side, reach up and over with the left arm. So find that stretch through the left side of the body. Think about pressing the left sit bone down towards the mat. Great. You might notice that that left shoulder has scourged up towards the ear. Try and bring it down away from the ear so you've still got a nice long neck. Lovely. Then we're going to inhale, coming back to center, reach both arms up. And then exhale over to the other side. So again, think about sending that right sit bone down towards the mat. Find length through the side of the body. Keep the chest lifted. So as well, you might find to reach down, you've dropped the chest, you're twisting a little through the spine. Just try and lift that top shoulder. Keep the chest open towards the front. Wonderful. Inhale, coming up to center, reach both arms up. And then interlace the fingers, drop the chin to the chest. Hands coming onto the back of the head, elbows hang. And find a stretch into the back of the neck and into the upper back. Lovely. Release the hands, draw the head back up to center. We're going to bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. So shoulders down away from the ears. The ear is coming to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. If you want, you can add that right hand on top of the head just as that extra bit of weight to help ease the neck out. Lovely. Draw the head back up to center. And then over to the other side. Left ear towards the left shoulder, not the shoulder towards the ear. And if you want, adding the hand on top of the head. Lovely. Bringing the head back up to center. So we're going to come into tabletop position. So bringing wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Navel slightly drawn in, neck in line with the rest of the spine. And then we're going to move into cat-cow. So with your inhale, with that little bend in the elbow, so you're not locking the elbows out, you're going to lift the gaze, lift the chest, sending the belly down towards the mat. And then with an, with an exhale, you're going to round the back, drawing the belly button up towards the spine. So the inhale, lifting the gaze, lift the chest, think about squeezing the shoulder blades together. The exhale rounds the back, belly button up towards the spine. Lovely. And again, inhale. And exhale. Fab. So then coming back to a nice neutral spine, we're going to go into tigers. So opposite arm to leg. You don't want to do same arm and leg or else you will topple over. Trust me. So we'll do right arm and left leg. With your inhale, you're stretching out, lifting the gaze. And then with your exhale, round the back, draw the elbow to the knee, seeing if you can bring them together. And then inhale, reaching out again. So really control that movement. Take your time, don't rush it. Rounding the back, elbow to knee. Inhale. So a big part of strengthening our core isn't about doing sit-ups or specific abdominal exercises. Our core is a whole collection of muscles. We're just going to do one more on this side. And a big part of strengthening that collection of muscles is doing exercises that stabilize. So you can pop that knee down, pop the hand down, and we'll go on to the other side. So left hand, right leg. When you're ready, inhaling to reach out. So when we do exercises that stabilize, so anything where we're having to balance, those exercises are really good for strengthening our core. So in this exercise, you're having to stabilize, to balance as you reach out, taking the limbs away from the center, away from the core, and then using those core muscles to draw everything back in again. Lovely. Pop the hand down, pop the knee down. Great. We're just going to cross at the ankles, sit back towards the ankles, hands down, and then stretch the feet out in front. Or in whatever way is best for you, come in so that the feet are stretched out in front of you. Now make sure you've got enough space behind you so that you can come down to lying. Just move my microphone back. And then we're going to do some roll downs. So we'll start off with a version that hopefully most of you can do. So have the knees bent, feet on the mat, holding on around the back of the thighs. Sorry, got a hiccup. Chin in towards the chest. Nice and slowly we're rolling down. So really take your time with this. Take as many breaths as you can as you roll down. By which I mean don't breathe rapidly. I mean use as long as you can. So keep the breath slow and steady, but take your time. You might find at some point it's better to pop the hands down, elbows down onto the mat rather than holding on. But as best as you can, try and use those core muscles. And then rolling yourself the whole of the way down, reach the arms up and over, stretch through that upper body. And then we're going to come all the way back up. So for this one, we'll pop the hands down again onto the mat. Press into the elbows, tuck the chin in, rolling up, bringing yourself up, holding on around the back of the legs again if you want, and then going all the way back up to sitting. Great. So continue like that for a few rounds if that's the best one for you. Otherwise, shuffle the hips back a little bit. We'll straighten a little bit more through those legs. We're going to try having the hands out in front of us. So stretching the hands out in front, chin in towards the chest, and nice and slowly we're rolling down. So you'll probably find your heels start to slide up towards you a bit. That's perfectly natural. That's just the biomechanics of a body. Rolling down, nice and slow. Great. Once you reach the mat, stretch the arms up and overhead, stretch right through the body. And then we're going to reach the hands up towards the ceiling. So help yourself out at this beginning bit with popping the hands down on the mat if you like. But if you can, chin tucked in towards the chest with an inhale, nice and steady rolling up. Great. That first bit's the hardest bit. Try not to propel yourself up too much. Really try and control that movement, and that will build more strength. Once you reach the top, we're just going to have a little bend in the knees and reach towards the feet. Lovely. Then we're going to do that movement again. So rolling up through the spine. Hands stretched out in front. Rolling down. Take your time. Chin in towards the chest. Once you reach the mat, reach the arms up and overhead, stretch right through the body. And then again, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, nice and slow, tuck the chin in, rolling up. Fab. Reach the hands towards the feet. folding a little over the legs, but have a good bend in the knees. We're not too worried about getting the biggest stretch for this one. It's just about finding that flexion in the spine, letting the abdominal muscles and the psoas relax a little bit. Great. And again, this time we're going to see if we can hold halfway. So rolling down, find that halfway point. So that point where you feel like the muscles are just starting to work. If there's shaking, shaking is good. Hang out with the shaking. Don't worry about it. Try and bring the shoulders down away from the ears so you're not creating tension in the neck. Make sure you're still breathing. And then we'll roll down the rest of the way. Control it though. Brilliant. My belly definitely shakes when I do that one. Stretch the arms up and over. Lovely, then rolling back up again. Reach the arms up, tuck the chin in, rolling all the way back up. Nice and steady. Control that movement. Reach towards the feet. Fab. This time, coming up to sitting, rolling down to halfway. So find that halfway point. Feel where the muscles are really starting to work. And then just with an inhale, we're going to open the arms up to the sides. And then draw the hands back together in front of you. Great. Open out to the sides. Back together in front of you. And once more, opening out. And drawing them back in. Fab. Remember, control this, don't rush it. We're going to come all the way down to lying for the last time. Fab. Once you reach the mat, stretch the arms up and overhead. Stretch right through the body. I'm going to shuffle down on my mat. Bend it up right near the top of it. Great. So then draw the hands back down by the sides. We're going to have the feet hip distance apart, ready for bridge pose. To give that front body a good stretch out. So draw the shoulder blades together behind you a little. Snuggle the shoulder blades into the mat. Chin slightly tucked in. And just with an inhale, press the back of the waist into the mat and then push into the feet, rolling up through the spine, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. So you can either stay here, taking a few breaths. You can always clasp the hands behind the back, shuffle a little higher. Or if you prefer, and it doesn't feel comfortable holding for any reason, you can roll through that bridge pose. So rolling down, bringing the hips back down onto the mat, and then rolling all the way back up again. So just use this pose however feels best in your body. Something to think about is making sure that the knees don't roll in towards each other or out to the sides. Try and have the knees tracking straight up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Then whichever one you're doing, we're all going to come back down onto the mat. Hips settling down onto the mat. And we are going to do eagle crunches. So for those of you who have practiced a fair bit of yoga, you probably recognize eagle pose, which is normally a standing balance, but we're going to do it lying down. So you're going to cross your right leg over your left leg, seeing if you can lift the left foot. You can stay like this, or see if you can tuck that right foot around the back of the left leg. Don't worry if you can't, it's not integral to the pose. You can just have your legs crossed, that works too. And then left elbow coming over the right elbow, either bringing the backs of the hands together or the palms together, or you can just hold on to the shoulders. Then with an inhale, we're going to draw the elbows towards the knees, chin tucked in, squeezing everything in. And with an exhale, see if you can tap the toes down onto the mat, tap the hands down onto the mat behind the head. So inhale draws everything in. Exhale, tap everything down. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one on the side. Fantastic. Uncross everything and we'll cross the other way. So cross the left leg over the right leg. See if you can tuck that left foot round the back of the right leg, but don't worry if you can't. Right elbow, yeah, right elbow's going on top. Backs the hands together or palms together or hands resting on the shoulders. With an inhale, you're drawing everything in. Exhale, tap the toes down. Bring the hands down behind you. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Last one. Wonderful. Release the hands, release the legs. That's it, that's everything. We'll just finish with happy baby pose to feel nice and comfortable at the end. So you can hold on to the outsides of the feet, or you can hold on to the big toes. You can even hold on to the ankles or your leggings or your joggers, whatever you've got on. Whatever is best, so that you can send the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, knees down towards the armpits. So we're trying to open out through the back of the knees. And you can either hold still or you can rock from side to side. And just let the body ease out. Let those core muscles settle and relax. So there are many, many other exercises you can do that are great for your core and that target different areas of your core. So maybe your obliques, which are at the side sometimes. Well, we often refer to the muffin top, which is sort of the area where the obliques are. There's also the psoas, which is that big muscle that connects the upper body to the lower body. Yeah, it's a whole group of muscles. The abdominal muscles are of course part of it, but they are not the whole of the core. So there are lots of targeted exercises we can do, and these are just a few that hopefully will help overall with your core. But I'll do more videos targeting some other areas, so keep an eye out for those. But when you're ready, if you want to bring yourself up to sitting, if you have time to go into a little breathing practice or a meditation, that would be great. Or if you have time and you want to have a bit more of a stretch out, or maybe even repeat that again so you feel super strong, then go for it. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this practice. Please do like and subscribe, leave me comments, tell me how you got on. I really appreciate it. And it's just nice to know there are people out there following along with me. Yeah, so hopefully I'll see you here again soon. Om Shanti.